Crowlight Chapter 1 Morning Embers. Ciarán Kane was a man of deeds. Indeed, there was nothing he feared, as long as he could achieve it with his own hands. The honour of work, he said to his sons, is a truth no one can deprive you of. This device carried him through life since he was little, which raised him from the dirt of the slums into the dreams he built up, first for himself, then for his family. A slow but steady way to earn his fortune. The man he became treasured in his art, everything he learned in his youth. Despite his old reputation of being a savage and tetchy fist-fighter, he was seen as honourable, for he preferred observing over brawling, and consideration instead of dispute. Even his kids knew the old rules of dogs eating dogs, but he also taught his sons to keep themselves out of trouble, and how to earn respect by honouring others. Yes, he was a dreamer, whose heart refused to release the hopes for future prospects, even as he faltered. Sluggish gait, head bowed, eyes on his feet, but each step strode out, determined. He was used to keeping straight on, following his own pace, whatever he was headed for. But during his journeyman's years, he grew accustomed to the road, her lead feeling like an old friend's favour. Her call sang to him, like the trade sang in his bones. This path, however, was too familiar, full of old fears and memories lurking around every corner. Ciarán loved his profession, a man of steel in his essence, as some said, but mostly he was called Grease, nicknamed after his grim resoluteness, along with his tall growth already in his childhood. Today, the strength of the blacksmith seemed to be the perfect match, sketching the storied image of a grizzly bear. Arrived overseas in far-off tales, and just as mystical as his knowledge in smithcraft was to the unskilled eye. Since learning the trade, work always found him. Every workplace and assignment during his apprenticeship helped restore his trust in the road. This choice this road offered him, he knew he couldn't trust. Keeping his head down as long as he could wouldn't delay the decision waiting ahead. The choice at least made his second opponent, the dry, freezing air biting his skin, more bearable. So he studied the traces of soot on his toe caps, scorched by the campfires whose embers he smothered under his heel every morning. Once again, he realised how haggled his boots, not to mention the rest of his clothes, were. 3 years of roaming left a mark on them. His last employment ended 3 months ago, followed by the tiered cycle of wilderness living in times of unemployment. While seeking work as a travelling detailer, he didn't need to feel the frost to know another homeless winter approached. Snow hung in the air, its distinctive scent overpowering the spicy scents of the meadows and trees around him. And there was the light, wiping out the colours of autumn more and more with every day that passed. Slowly, Ciarán lifted his head and looked at the Crowlight. A certain tinge of grey at the threshold that parted day from night. It never appeared in the city, only in rural environments with either no buildings or elsewhere they had been raised less to narrow to each other. And just as the birds stood for death, the Crowlight seemed to be all that survived after leeching the land out, leaving it stone hard and cold in its wake. Sometimes mixed up with snow, rain and fog or shafts of sunlight. It seemed almost alluring. Like he only needed to reach out and touch it, to feel the misty veil he knew from the old sayings and stories. Right before him, strangely sharpened by the freezing air, the road branched into 2 paths. The road continuing to London and a cart track, heading towards the countryside. Over the paved road, the Crowlight lingered, the ethereal glow mingling with the morning frost, coating the leaves and grasses along the wayside, trying to lure him away from the decision he already made. The tall man paused, tired eyes shadowed behind black locks of hair, stared ahead. Looking back wasn't his way, but in his mind's eye, he could still see his morning embers. Their crackling calling him back, away from his conscience which urged him home. He couldn't return, not without his kids and burdened with failure. Someone ought to see the one glimpse of light hidden in his pockets, drawing a deep breath and forcing himself from a stiff posture. He ignored the Crowlight. Pushing on, he chose to face a new dying day by taking the field track. A path leading back to his past.